boys and girls, mums and dads, nanas and pops, and Rocky Rockstar's fairy friends. Today we have one of my absolute all-time favourite stories, Borreguita. And the Coyote. My children used to love this story when they were growing up. This is a Mexican story. On a farm at the foot of a mountain, there once lived a little ewe lamb. Her master called her simply Borreguita, which means little lamb. One day, Borreguita's master tied her to a stake in a field of red clover. The lamb was eating the lush plants when a coyote came by. We don't have coyotes in Australia, but they do in America. The coyote growled, "Borreguita, I'm going to eat you." Borreguita bleated, "Bah, bah, Senora Coyote, I will not fill you up. I am as thin as a bean pod. When I've eaten all of this clover, I shall be fat. You may eat me then." Coyote looked at the skinny little lamb and the wide clover field. "Está bien. That is good," he said. "When you are fat, I shall come back." Look at his sharp teeth. Ooh, he looks a bit scary, Rocky. I think the little ewe lamb's scared. After many days, the coyote returned. He found the lamb grazing in a meadow and he growled, "Borreguita, you as plump as a tumbleweed. I'm going to eat you now." Borreguita bleated, "Senora Coyote, I know something that tastes ever so much better than lamb." "What?" asked Coyote. "Cheese," cried Borreguita. "My master keeps a round of cheese on his table. He eats it on his tacos." The coyote had never heard of cheese, and he was curious about it. "How can I get some of this cheese?" he asked. Borreguita said, "There is a pond at the end of the pasture. Tonight, when the moon is high, meet me there, and I will show you how to get the cheese." "Está bien," said Coyote. "I will be there." That night, when the full moon was straight up in the sky, Borreguita and Coyote met at the edge of the pond. There, glowing in the black water, was something that looked like a big, round cheese. "Do you see it?" cried Borreguita. "Swim out and get it." Coyote slipped into the water and paddled toward the cheese. He swam and swam, but the cheese stayed just so far ahead. Finally, he opened his mouth and lunged. The image shattered in the splash. Pond water rushed into Coyote's mouth. Coughing and spluttering, he turned and headed for the shore. When he reached it, the little lamb was gone. She had tricked him. Coyote shook the water off his fur. Then he looked up at the big cheese in the sky and howled, "Oh!" Can you howl like that, Rocky? Rocky, can you howl like that? At dawn the next day, Borreguita went to graze near a small overhanging ledge of rock on the side of the mountain. She knew the coyote would be coming after her, and she had a plan. As the sun rose over the mountain, Borreguita saw the coyote coming. He was sniffing along with his nose on some trail. She crawled under the ledge and lay her back, bracing her feet against the top. When the coyote found her, he growled, "Borreguita, I see you under there. I'm going to pull you out and eat you." Borreguita bleated, "Bah, bah, Senora Coyote, you can't eat me now. I have to hold up this mountain. If I let it go, it will come tumbling down." The coyote looked at the mountain. He saw that the lamb was holding it up. Do you think the lamb's holding up the mountain? Mickey, do you think the lamb's holding up the mountain? He doesn't hear. He's asleep. "You are strong," said Borreguita. "Will you hold it for me while I go and get some help?" The coyote did not want the mountain to fall, so he crept under the ledge and put up his feet. "Push hard," said Borreguita. "Do you have it now?" "I have it," said Coyote. "But hurry back. This mountain is heavy." Borreguita rolled out of the shallow cave and went leaping and running all the way back to the barnyard. Coyote held up that rock until his legs ached and he was hungry and thirsty. At last he said, "Even if the mountain falls, I'm going to let go. I can't hold it any longer." The coyote dragged himself out and covered his head with his paws. The mountain did not fall. Then he knew the little lamb had fooled him again. Coyote sat on his haunches and howled, "Oh!" Early the next morning, the coyote hid himself in a thicket in the lamb's pasture. When she drew near, he sprang out with a woof, and he said, "Borreguita, you will not escape me this time. I'm going to eat you now." Borreguita bleated, "Bah, bah, Senora Coyote, I know I deserve to die, but grant me one kindness. Swallow me whole, so that I won't suffer the biting and chewing." "Why should I make you comfortable while I eat you?" demanded Coyote. "Anyway, I couldn't swallow you all in one piece even if I wanted to." "Oh, yes, you could," cried Borreguita. "Your mouth is so big you could swallow a cougar. Open it wide and I will run and dive in." Do you think she might be tricking the coyote again, I think? Coyote opened his mouth wide and braced his feet. Borreguita backed away. Then she put her head down and charged. Bam! She struck the inside of Coyote's mouth so hard she sent him rolling. "Ow, ow, ow, ow!" howled the coyote as he picked himself up and ran away, his mouth feeling like one big toothache. Borreguita's very clever. And from that day on, Borreguita frisked about on the farm at the foot of the mountain, and Coyote never bothered her again. I think Borreguita learnt his lesson. And well, this is still one of my all-time favourite books, Borreguita and the Coyote. It brought so much happiness to my life when I was reading them to my children, and my children love them too. And I know that Rocky Rockstar's The Adventures of Jessie and Rocky Rockstar, Puppy Rescue and Tiger are also going to be favourites, because kids and families all over the world are already sharing with us how they're having a profound impact. And the reason why I've written these stories, Puppy Rescue and Tiger, is because I really believe that it's about escaping for a few moments, a few mindful moments, and having that precious time with your child just to escape into a story. And I know that helped me when I was a little girl in my moments of sadness, to be able to escape into the stories and just get some joy back into my life. And that's why I've written these stories. And thank you so much for sharing how these stories are impacting on your children's lives around the world. And so did the coyote. They need to live happily together. I hope you enjoyed the story. See you again soon. Bye.